Elizabeth, I love your dress.
Thank you. It's vintage.
Oh, it is.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
I found it
vintage.
in a little store in New York.
To me,
My coat's not
means out of
vintage,
the
it's
closet.
just out of style.
Vintage was not-
So in 10 years, it'll be vintage.
Yes.
Hello?
It's a great,
Hello?
it's a great town. Have you been on vacation?
No, actually, my cholesterol is about 470. So I'm not even allowed outside. Check, check.
Like we need it, but give us a voice, IDs, each one of these.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Perkins.
Hi, Brad Garrett.
You two are so delightfully inappropriate on this show.
That's the point, I think.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think so too. And then that was my question. Is that part of the appeal of playing these people?
You know, I think so. Oddly, it was a very quick chemistry, and we just found each other over talking to each other. It was like an immediate thing where we felt like we'd been together a while. I know it sounds kind of,
He means
trite.
it that way, he's just joking.
But it's like we just, there's a chemistry there, and a restraining order, unfortunately. So,
I sort
you
of
know,
felt like I would work well with him long before, I found out he was doing it.
Thank you.
And then when I found out he was doing it, I was like, I'm in, because it was, I just knew that we'd get along. I know his sense of humor, and we find the same things funny, and
Thank you.
he's warm and kind.
Over the years, you've taken such an irreverent position on your comedy anyhow, so I mean, this is like your wheelhouse. I mean,
Right.
what is it about people that look like you aren't supposed to be funny, you know? What is it, and that's part of the beauty of it,
Very
you know?
true.
Why does it work so well? Why do you find that timing? Why is it so great?
I don't know. I think that I sort of have a dark look at the world. I mean, I find dark comedy to be more real than sort of light summer fare. There's a lot of tragedy in the world, and I think that the flip side of tragedy is comedy. So I think that I just have a different skew on what is funny.
And she's fearless, which I
Well,
think
thank
in
you.
comedy is so helpful.
Yeah, I'll pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because in speaking with Sarah just a few minutes ago, that was exactly.
Which one is that?
I'm sorry.
Sarah?
Sarah?
Chuck.
Chalk?
Jessica Chuck, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
In speaking with Sarah Chalk
Is that
just
for
a
sure?
few minutes ago.
I'm not sure her deal is set, but yeah.
That she is one of those people who is also totally fearless when
Yeah.
it comes to comedy. She'll do a pratfall as quickly as she'll do a funny line, and that seems to be the same. Maybe that's why they cast you as mother.
Well, I think it's also about making choices and not always going with the obvious one, and sort of having that, he used the word irreverent, skew on things. And all I know is when I go about my everyday life, I will constantly see things where I say to myself, if I saw that in a movie or on a television show, nobody would believe me.
Right, exactly.
And that's the way I always sort of think of comedy, as being sort of that unbelievable thing that actually is real, but nobody would believe it was real.
Brad, what's funny to you these days, since it's election year?
Well, my humor is pretty irreverent. I'm a stand-up and originally, and I find I just find it all, especially in the election year, it all gets more and more scary to me. As far as the people that are running our country. So without getting political, I just find this stuff. I love not being PC. Because I don't believe in it, I believe the people who really act PC are really the ones you got to watch. PC is like, to me, a Prius. Not enough for doing it, and if we all did, it wouldn't matter. And I know you drive one. It's a
I
fabulous
do,
car.
it's okay.
I just believe that there comes a time when you just got to just really be genuine and just be who you are. And what's great in this show is I really think we're playing people first of all, I just love I get to play someone who's comfortable in his own skin and likes his life. I've really never had a character like that on TV before. But what's true is there are people that have been married a while that still find each other attractive, that really love their life, and we're really digging our empty nest. You know, we don't need to live through our children's reality
And now
to
our
feel
grandchildren.
right. So it's like, wow, we love you. What are you doing
Like,
here?
when are you leaving?
Yeah, and that's a very, unique take on television families. You know, we have so many. We we're waiting for our kids to come back and make our lives complete.
I can't wait to be a grandmother.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah,
I don't know how 100% real that is.
Yeah.
Brad,
That's kind of
for
what I
every
wanted to go
stand-up
with. I'm sorry,
that's
I just
made
want to
it.
follow about
Oh.
because I wanted to actually go there. For everyone that says these people are outrageous and they're irreverent, I kind of watched them as like, oh, finally they're representing what my parents probably sound like
Yeah.
and things like that.
And one of the things I
Well,
loved about
thank
it
you.
is that the whole idea is, oh, she moves back in with her crazy parents, but she's kind of the crazy one, and she's the one who's neurotic, and she's the one who becomes hysterical about little things.
Yes.
Everything's for us is just like water off a duck's back, and we don't understand why she's so nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
And I love that little juxtaposition. I think
yeah. Me too.
Brad,
it's
what
more
I-
real.
Brad, what I was gonna say is, for every stand-up that's made it in sitcom world, there's 150 that tried and failed.
Right.
You've had just an amazingly blessed career.
Well,
Why do you think that you made the transition so seamlessly?
Well, I'm very grateful. Opportunity is huge, right? You need opportunity, but then you got to be able to, get through the process of going from stand-up to actor. I've trained. I think training a lot of comics, they get to a sitcom, but they don't train for it. It's a very different sensibility, very different dichotomy, and acting is something when I was 18, I was at the Strasberg Institute, in Hollywood. I was always trying to do things as an actor. Now that being said, stand-up is really a monologue, but it's very, very different when you have to be put around, people where you have to learn. Like I had to learn, I'm still learning to listen, which stand-ups don't learn to listen, because if it's quiet, there's
Time
something
to
wrong.
fill the gap, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to learn, and early on, to listen and to. I'm lucky I'm surrounded by people that are wonderfully funny, and that helps. And the writing, the pilot was so spot on for us. But it's different, when a stand-up becomes an actor many times and it works. You see like a Robin Williams or a Steve Martin or someone like that, it can really work, really wonderfully, because we almost come with our own persona, our own voice, but you need to be able to make the lead. And I don't think it's automatic.
Yeah, and I think part of your luck, if you want to call it that, is that you've never really played your routine. You've never
Well, I
been
would work if I did.
That's true.
I'd have to
It
probably leave
couldn't
the
be on
country.
ABC, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But so many sitcoms are based on a comedian's life.
correct, yeah.
And you've never played that.
Well, they've asked me not to, pretty much. Yeah,
He's
it's
been warned.
very, very irreverent. It's funny, now when I see the things, like Louis C.K. and stuff like that, it's like, I'm going, wow, now, but, yeah, exactly. But I understand, I'm a little tangy, Animal Planet may end up being where I me living with a silverback, and I think I'm scared of the lady.
Can you tell us about what is the...
Hi, honey.
Can you tell us
That's
about
okay.
what is the biggest challenge you have in your role, both of you two? What is the biggest challenge that you have in this particular series?
I think for me, this is the first time I've been on network, so I'm not used to controlling my mouth.
Right. Or in the van on the way over. Actually, she had no trouble controlling.
It's the first time I've ever sort of worked in front of I'm not allowed to use swear words or say that thing.
Right.
I'm not used to that, so that's a little bit of a challenge for me. I don't know about you.
It's it's all a challenge. It's you don't know. I mean, they throw a bunch of people in a room together, and you're a family. And is it gonna jive? Is it gonna work? The chemistry we had on the pilot was very unique, and I felt very, very grateful. And again, it's, you know, when you're around people that are fearless, which really Sarah and Elizabeth are, you try anything. You know, you
Yeah,
know,
there's
you
no
just jump
holds
in the
barred.
pool.
It's really freeing.
Yeah.
We were saying to Sarah that you don't find a woman that's a physical comic like she is. She's an amazing physical comic.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
very
know?
much.
That mix of people and their different humors probably is the glue that holds the three of you guys together.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, and that is the glue. And it's, you know, it's a great thing to have, you know.
And I love how she's sort of this, her energy is very, as Polly, is very sort of manic and the world is spinning way too fast. And
Yeah.
we're sort of like, whoa.
Yeah,
You know?
it's really
We're
the switch of
The
the parent.
switch
Yeah.
is huge. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Something I've always wanted to ask you, where did this come from? The touch, in Raymond, where did
The chin,
the chin?
Ray's brother does this. We witnessed it. Nobody believed it when it was written into the early episodes, but Richard, who's really the Robert character, it's almost like a little tick. You know, we were all once watching a Yankees game, like the second year the show was on, and Rich was in town, and we were at Ray's place, and they're huge sports people, and he was sweating out the Yankee game, and he kept taking the remote, and he would touch it to his chin before he would switch from ESPN to the other, and we really couldn't believe it, and Ray was like, I told you, you know, he's out of his mind, you know, and it's, you know, write what you know, and that's what was brilliant with Ray, is, you know, they wrote what they knew, and, you know, we did the pilot, he was living across the street from his folks, I mean, and Richard had just moved home, so it was wild, because we'd go back east, and we'd see this family, and it's all the homework you had to do, you know.
Open the door.
Yeah.
Last question, guys.
So, in this situation, it's a single camera and there's no audience and stuff. At what point did you guys get comfortable enough in your comedic skills, more in your career than in this one, that you didn't have to worry about an audience laughing or need that audience laughing to know this is going to play well, this is going to be funny?
I think it's just how long we've been doing it, to be honest, you know. I mean, there comes a certain grace at this age where you don't sweat the small stuff anymore. You know, you do the best job you can, you put it out there. Not everyone's gonna laugh, not everyone's gonna get it. I guess you just don't worry about that anymore. Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
just
I was
at a certain
really
age.
looking
you know.
forward to doing single camera. That was a leap that I was trying to make for a while. I love the intimacy of it. I love the time you can take. You know, as a stand-up, of course, you love that audience, but it's so interesting how there'll be a line you know works all week, and then they bring the audience in, and they don't laugh on that line, and it gets taken out, and you're saying, but it works. It's worked for everyone on the stage for 5 days. You know, so what's great about this is it really tests your trust, you know, about material, and that's
And about editors.
about it.
Very important.
Yeah.
Could you just quickly tell each of you what your motto is? Your motto, I mean, is there something that these things can be terribly bad or they can be terribly wonderful, and there's something that holds you, keeps you steady, you save yourself, and it keeps you grounded?
Deny, deny, deny.
Denial's helpful. You know, it's funny. I just
That's good.
that's so honest. See, that's so
You're
funny.
running for office?
Yeah, exactly. At least she's out about her denial. You know what? I know this sounds corny. I just try to stay grateful. You know, because
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna say.
No, that isn't.
It's just so.
No, it wasn't.
Ask my friend Robin over there when I always
he's
say, I'm
sleeping.
grateful, I'm grateful,
Because
I'm grateful.
Yeah, you know, we are, because at the end of the day, you know, there's so many
It's gotta
factors
be.
that come into this working or not working. There's so many things we're not in control of. At the end of the day, you drive home, you know, how many people do what they love? You
And
know?
I've been doing this for almost 30 years.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
I've been squeezing my 15 minutes like you can't believe. And, you know, we're very, very grateful. You know, I mean, I am. And even on the bad days, you go, hey, it beats, you know.
Digging a ditch for
Yeah,
a living, that's for
yeah.
sure.
So that,